Hello, this is Ligia Huben. It is wonderful to connect with you again. And today's message is about a topic that is very close to my heart, and I hope that the message will help you if you're facing a loss in your life. Last night, I presented, I gave a talk to Emmaus, and it was this wonderful group from St. John Newman. It's a Catholic church in Miami, Florida, and this is the second time I go because the first time we talked about what loss is, how grief is manifested, and last night we talked about the 11 principles of transformation as a system to transform a loss and transform it actually into personal growth. So we're talking about it, and of course, when we talk about loss, we cannot avoid talking about grief. So we revisited the topic again of grief. And what is grief? Grief is the natural and unique response to a loss. And I always like to say unique because we are unique individuals. You are unique. I am unique. Our grief is unique. So when we were in that, the experience, of giving the talk and people also sharing their thoughts and asking, because when I give a talk, I love to connect. I love to interact with the public. It is not only me talking, but just to connect, because that's what makes it beautiful. Every single person there, they have a message, they have questions. So I like to open the space so we can share what we are thinking, what we are taking with us from the talk. No? So there was this question that a gentleman asked, and he asked me what is the norm, what is, quote unquote, normal in grief. When we have lost a loved one, what is the normal time to be grieving? What I responded was this, that according to scholars, when we lose a loved one very close to us, like a spouse, parents, siblings, close friends, close colleagues, people very close to us, 2 years. When it is a child, 6 years. This is based on research, on statistics, on scholars. Now, when we lose a loved one, how can we measure time? When we lose a loved one, in my heart is to say this: we learn to live with that loss, just as I said it in my book, Transform Your Loss. We learn to live with the loss. However, love is eternal. The relationship with our loved one changes. It gets transformed. However, they're always in our hearts. Now, how can we distinguish between grief as a natural and unique response to a loss and complicated grief and pathological grief? How can we distinguish it? Because with complicated grief, we stop functioning. We stop functioning. We stay stuck in the suffering. We can develop even health conditions because, again, psychosomatic. Because grief can be manifested in different ways, not only the emotional, people crying or people getting angry or guilty, all these emotions. No, it can also be physical. However, when it is complicated, we can even develop illnesses because of that. And what is one of the causes for complicated grief to happen is the lack of acceptance, the resistance of accepting that we are experiencing that loss. And I understand that, and acceptance by itself is a message for another video. It's actually the first of my 11 principles, has to do with acceptance. However, if we resist what has happened to us, we may stay there, stuck in the suffering and not being able to continue. So if you find yourself in that place, look for help. Talk to someone. Share how you feel. Open your heart. It is understandable that you are grieving. I understand you. If you have watched other videos of mine, you may remember that I do what I do, helping the bereaved, helping people going through losses, inspired by my own personal experience. That I lost my father. I lost him when I was 12. And it was very painful. It was very painful. However, inside of us, we have those resources. They are amazing, that we are able to transform that loss and continue honoring our loved one, and embrace life again. Always remember that. I send you a hug. My heart is with you, and I wish you a beautiful day.